Hello everyone, it is Kastleized and Shadow Isle is right around the corner, featuring our new Primordial and so much more. So let's get right into it. Well, the theories were that Shadow Islet would release on the 29th of October, but it is kind of the 4th of November and it isn't out, so that means it won't release on the 29th of October. Instead, we got Mana Paironormal Carnival, which I am not complaining since that was pretty cool. First of all, let's get on to the release of Shadow Islet. In the recent 5.1.0 update showcase live, Monster Handler Matt teased Shadow Islet releasing within the last few months of the year, which is kinda November and December. Well, actually it's not kinda, cause it is. Here's the clip.
I can't help but think that maybe there's one thing that our community has just not shut up about. I love you all. Yes. That is something that maybe in the time remaining in 2025, maybe there's room to sneak it in there.
I can't think about what you're talking about.
So that was quickly followed up by the Beat Hereafter Field Note video, in which monster handler Tyson explained all of the new monsters in Beat Hereafter along with a report. Once translated from Monstrous, the language of monsters, it reads, Lab notes, what's on today's agenda? Ah, yes. Ongoing development of a cure for Tweedlepox. After some trial and error, it seems the solution is to reverse engineer Scarata's venom by stirring it counterclockwise rather than clockwise. Should I make it into an ointment? Maybe a nice digestible gummy? Distribution, labeling will, consideration. This obviously doesn't give us a hint towards the release of Shadow Islet, but it is interesting to know. But there is something a lot more interesting. The case number on the top of the report, when translated from monstrous to English, reads number 1210. Obviously this could mean nothing, but my singing monsters, they like to tease stuff, such as Magical Nexus in Epic Wallaby's bio. The date 1210, in the way USA does it, would mean December 10th. In the way UK does it, it would be the 12th of October, but that has kind of already happened. There is something significant about the December 10th date. It falls on a Wednesday, which is the day most My Singing Monsters updates release. This would also be the day Festival of Year would release too, so it lines up. Please consider liking and subscribing if you are enjoying the video. I have a Discord server, and if we get to 500 members before 2026, I'm giving away 500 diamonds, link in the description. Okay, to continue. This is Rare Nitebear, not a new monster, not the Shadow Islet critter, just for some clarification. There is no more information we can get about Shadow Islet's release date from this field notes. There is a few miscellaneous stuff that could hint towards the same release date. Festival of Year celebrated on Cold Island, and Shadow is the ethereal alternative of Cold, and Shadow Islet will house the Cold Primordial. Speaking of Primordial, let's start talking about the Primordial. Shadow Islet would house the Cold Primordial. How many times have I said Primordial? And it's probably going to be Fandhul. Who's ready for a massive section where I talk about Fandhul? I am. Obviously, Shadow Islet's Primordial would be Fandhul. This design perfectly represents it. There is cold fur all around the body, which not only represents the Primordial cold element, but Mammoth's fur, since Mammoth also is a cold representative. It is covered in the goo that also covers Pentumbra, the Shadow Quad. It covers the legs, by the way, it's sort of wrapped around them. This goo is also seen on the Mirror Natural Islands too. It has dark red claws on its hands and feet, which are just scary. The theme of Shadow Islet, scary, fast and kind of funny, sort of like a circus. Fandhul has a guitar on top of its head, more specifically an electric guitar, but it uses retractable hands to play. It has a weird eye, the eye sort of cryptic looking, which is like scary, Shadow Islet themed in fact. This is another Fandhul designed by Alcala that really ties into the cold element. It has colder trunks coming out of the ground with ice growing all around them, attaching the Fandhul to the ground, almost like cementing it into the ground so it's stuck there. It has a percussion sound which is more than just clapping, but it sounds like this. By the way, the Shadow Islet song playing in the background is Alcala's, so check that out in the description after this, please. Let's go on to the Shadow Islet design. First of all, this design by Ewubs resembles the Plasma Islet design. I could see the Mech Islet design being all mechanical and technological, but I don't see what they could do to severely differ the Shadow Islet design from the Plasma Islet design. So I feel like this is the perfect balance between them two. It has a more Halloween / scary theme, even though it's not Halloween, it's gonna release near Christmas. With the background having cobwebs and ghosts, a gravestone on top of the islet, orange creepy eyes with orange highlights on the fingertips, a huge cobweb connecting the fingers, which will be, you know, where you place all your monsters. Here is a Shadow Islet designed by Spookbox. This is a different position from the other hands, which are just facing left and right. This one is facing upper left, which means it is positioned here from Ethereal Island compared to the other islets. It has a more darker theme than the other one by Ewubs. Comment below what you think Shadow Islet would look like. Now this Shadow Islet design takes the cake for the best concept I've seen. By Spookbox, it has such an eerie tone and a mysterious, frightening tone that perfectly suits the Shadow Islet theme, and is a pure contrast from the Festival of Year when it would release. The green highlights comparing to the dark blue tones on the hand make it all the more better, with scary, horrifying pink claws trying to pull the hand back from rising. The red fingernails just add even more. This has got to be my favourite Shadow Islet design. It just looks so awesome. Shadow Islet's roster would be Grumpire, Wisp, Oraculele, Voodoo, Kazelian, Urique, Meebkin, Blaret, Nitebear, Piplash, Exert, Pentumbra, and Fandhul / the called Primordial. Or it might even release with the rares, and I really hope it does release with the rares, because it would make life so much easier, because you wouldn't, like, you can progress and get the rares. Like, from the very start, it just make it so much easier. Let's get on to more rare workshoppers stuff, because I believe we're gonna get some more rare workshoppers. Yay! 4 new rare workshoppers. I think we may get a dual release of rare Piplash and rare Flasque. They are the next 2 rare ethereal workshoppers if we are going on stability, even though rare Nitebear is less stable than rare Flasque and it came out before rare Flasque. Weird, right? Rare Piplash might come because it is on Shadow Islet and I think it would be cool. This is a rare Piplash designed by Ewubs, which is a more metallic and cyber-like. It has a radioactive green liquid flowing through its antennas. I think those are antennas. And then the metal going down its tube with paint splattered on it. Yeah, cool. This is a rare Piplash designed by Low, which is more shadow themed, goth and emo themed. It features a lower tone colour scheme with greys, reds, purples and blues, with wood-like texture all over the body and spikes coming out of the antennas and the tube. But please, what are these parts even called on Piplash? Now for rare Flasque, we have a design from Spookbox. Let's start off with the obvious. This monster has a mad scientist theme, but with a twist. It's basically a walking science lab. The main body is this huge conical flask filled with a bright bubbling red liquid, and inside that liquid we can see several tiny glowing green eyes peering out, which is really creepy but also pretty cool. The whole monster is held up by multiple pairs of brown wooden arms wearing big grey, almost cartoon-like gloves on the feet. The hands are doing all the work, holding beakers and pouring the red liquid into other flasks via some crazy curved tubes. Notice the small green orbs on the back of each hand? Yeah, I did too. I don't know what to say here, if I'm being honest. This is a rare flask design, but by Lycoad this time. This is a lot more colourful. They have an array of the science glass things that I forgot the name of other than beakers because I used them in science class the other day. It has measurements like rulers on the glass and multiple eyes stirred around in the goop in the first one, with muscly yellow arms holding them up. Okay, that's enough Shadow Islet for today. Shout out to Rocky from the Artificial Explorers for getting the highest level in my server. Shout out our castle champions, Spookbox and Gracie Grr. And I'll see you on Wednesday with Epic No. And the outro music for this and the end screen is going to be a hint towards an upcoming video. You might be able to guess what the video is.